Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the Daily Fix. I am your usual host and presenter, Advocate Tudo Hoyane. This afternoon and evening, I want to look at the fight back by SENZO MCHUNU. Yes, SENZO MCHUNU is now fighting back to challenge his being placed on leave of absence by the state president, Cyril Ramaphosa. You will recall that shortly after the 6th of July, after that seismic press conference or press briefing by General Kwanazi, President Ramaphosa then moved swiftly to suspend the Deputy National Commissioner, Crime Intelligence or Detection, General Shadrach Sibiya. Sibiya remains on suspension and has even tried to challenge his suspension before the courts, but unsuccessfully so. The next casualty of that explosive press conference was Minister SENZO MCHUNU. Ramaphosa slapped them with those suspensions and leave of absence. Call it what you will. Almost simultaneously. Because Mthwanazi had implicated both of them in a most damning fashion. One, the minister, Kwanazi alleged, and he substantiated this before the Madlanga Commission, that the minister was abusing his position as a minister and was interfering. He accused him of political interference in the day-to-day running, in the day-to-day operations and running of the South African police services, which, according to Kwanazi, and which is the known practice, that all operational matters have got nothing to do with the minister, who is really a political appointee, whose focus is on policy issues rather than the nitty-gritty of running investigations. So those are the damning allegations that were made against Minister SENZO MCHUNU, and to this day, we are still trying to recover from the fallout of those allegations. The president then moved quickly to establish the Madlanga Commission to look into this issue, which has set tongues wagging all over South Africa. And then also moved very quickly, like I indicated earlier on, to place SENZO MCHUNU on leave of absence. Now, SENZO MCHUNU is fighting back. He has filed papers before the Constitutional Court by way of direct access. He has filed papers before the Constitutional Court contesting the decision of the state president to place him on leave of absence. Now, the question is, does SENZO MCHUNU have a leg to stand on? Does he have a case against the state president? Is it open for him to challenge that decision to place him on leave of absence by the state president? This is a very contentious issue, and it will be very interesting to see how the Constitutional Court deals with this matter. Because in his papers, SENZO MCHUNU is saying that the revelations by Nhlanhla, blindsided him. They were totally unexpected and did not follow the normal channels of protocol. He argues further that the decision, therefore, to place him on leave of absence did not afford him the opportunity to respond to those allegations prior to the decision of the state president to place him on leave of absence. In other words, he's pleading that he was not heard in the whole matter. So basically, that is what his case is. The office of the state president has not yet responded to these moves by SENZO MCHUNU to set aside his being placed on leave of absence. But this is a very tricky area of the law. The law is not very settled on that. Let me just try and bundle things for you this way. Ministers or cabinet ministers serve in cabinet in terms of the Constitution at the pleasure of the state president. And what does that at the pleasure mean? It simply means the president can simply hire and fire a minister as and when he so wishes. They are political appointees. They do not have a fixed term of office. So they have a very, unstable or very shaky security of tenure. That is the dismissal of a minister at the pleasure of the state president. As far as suspension goes, the Constitution is silent on whether, because, let me put it this way, the Constitution is silent on the issue of suspension, and that leave of absence is in effect a suspension for all intents and purposes. And the Constitution is silent on whether the state president has the powers in law, has the constitutional powers to place a cabinet minister on leave of absence. You see, you must make a distinction there. He can hire and dismiss him. The minister serves at his pleasure. But when it comes to suspending him, the Constitutional is silent on that aspect. So what SENZO MCHUNU is testing here is whether in law the president has the powers to suspend a cabinet minister. So we'll see how it pans out before the Constitutional Court. It's going to be a very interesting case to follow. This comes amidst, a lot of pressure. I mean, SENZO MCHUNU has been under a lot of pressure from all quarters. For instance, the ANC wants to hold him before its Integrity Commission. The MK party wants him. The MK party wants him fired as a minister, not just suspended. The Democratic Alliance also is going to take legal action against SENZO MCHUNU for lying in Parliament under oath. So SENZO MCHUNU is a beleaguered man. But let us see how he fights his way back And it does not look like it's going to be a very easy thing for him to do. And like I said earlier, let us see how it pans out. But the bottom line is Senzo is trying to fight back, trying to claw back his way into office. Having said that, let me thank you for watching this video, and please have